Hello, my name is Chloe Nixon, and this is my presentation on Myra Mimlitsch-Gray. So Myra was born in 1962 in Camden, New Jersey. She's a contemporary metalsmith and educator who is educated all across America and mainly working in communication through textures and form. She's currently working in Stone Ridge, New York. Here's some pictures of her on the right. Some about her upbringing. She was actually introduced to metalwork in high school and then continued metal through her BFA, which she received at the Philadelphia College of Art, and then went to receive her master's at Cranbrook Academy of Art. She's received many different awards nationally and internationally, and now has taught all over America and is currently the head of the metal department at the State University of New York at Penn Waltz. I also included a picture of her and her husband when they met at Cranbrook. This is a picture of them at their graduation, which I found off of her Instagram, with her now husband at the bottom, a more recent picture. Here are two of her pieces that I really enjoy. These are some of my favorites. I think the one on the left is most interesting to me. It comes from her collection that I'll mention later called Molten. I think the texture is very, very intriguing. To someone who doesn't normally work in metal, this is very, very intricate. I love the very smooth textures, which kind of complements the ridges of the actual candle holders themselves. One of her collections, which she has a couple, which battle the idea of texture and how we understand texture and relate texture to everyday objects. This collection is called Magnification, which is a study to provoke the sentimental feeling of the handmade with these exaggerated hammer textures that she uses. It creates this ideological relationship with metal as a viewer. And this collection dates back to 2002. Unfortunately, I was not able to find the dimensions of this work, but they are actually quite large. The one on the right is pretty big. The top right is pretty big. But I believe the one under that, the bottom right, is about the size of a regular cake plate. And then the one on the top left is about the size of a regular cup. As mentioned previously, I really enjoy her collection called Molten. It also connects these everyday objects with the texture and the intention of fabrication of metal. Very, very smooth finish. I included a screen cap from her website at the bottom. It says, "These hollow wrought objects reflect the anxiety of service, legacy, and privilege. Bittersweet, this work portends silver's demise, but also its rebirth, as the material has been transformed throughout history to re-image new societies." That kind of reminded me of the episode of SpongeBob where we kind of understand future, this very, very smooth and shiny idea, maybe connecting everyday objects to also the fabrication of time. It's very interesting. Here's some artists similar to her work. David Clemens, who I really enjoy, was born in El Paso, Texas in 1973. He transferred to a couple different schools, but originally completed his BFA at the University of Texas in Austin, with actually a primary emphasis in painting, but now works in Penland, North Carolina. He creates art that explores identity and gives meaning to objects that extend beyond their expected uses, such as the shipwreck fruit bowl on the bottom left there, and also the absinthe spoon on the top right. He now offers workshops at craft schools around the country and embraces the craft of metalsmithing and its collected history of techniques and objects. Another connection to Myra, the very obvious and embracive texture, that hammer texture, is displayed on the bottom right piece, pewter spice jar with white oak top. Another artist is Tom Muir, which was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1965, and He is currently a professor at Bowling Green State College in Ohio, Perrysburg, Ohio. He received his Bachelor's of Fine Arts at Georgia State University and received his Master's at Indiana University. He makes work discussing themes of manufacturing, almost completely in silver, and embracing this lack of handmade utensils that we have. It's a very futuristic approach to metal form, I believe, kind of embracing this contrast of new quirky design in everyday objects with the tea infuser on the bottom. And also this funny, elegant gentleman's prosthetic mustache, I think is definitely a favorite of mine. And finally, I believe it's Heikki Seppä, he was born in 1927 in Finland and is considered a master of metal, as he has received many, many awards and has studied metalsmithing in Helsinki, the capital of the Gulf of Finland. He also has an emphasis on texture and form, similar to the artists mentioned previously. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the dimensions of my favorite work of his, Iron Heart. He passed away in 2010, and a lot of his work just isn't displayed online. But I really, really loved this Iron Heart. I thought it was a very interesting depiction. It almost looks like a bowl, a sunken bowl. Thank you.